The time is precisely 6:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe and read by Chandima Virakon. Headlines. The 48th session of the UN Human Rights Council begins. Sri Lankan Foreign Minister will address the session tomorrow. Sri Lankans in Italy say that they will not allow the Prime Minister to be embarrassed. Date to hear the Easter Sunday court case fixed. The Attorney General says deleting data of National Medicinal Drugs Authority can be a conspiracy. 15,000 will be recruited to police department. A national job market will be held from 7th to 9th of next month. In news overseas, the UN seeks millions in international aid for Afghanistan. In sports news, it's the US Open 2021. Tearful Novak Djokovic thanks New York crowd for ovation. Local stories in detail. The 48th session of the UN Human Rights Council commenced this afternoon. It will be held until the 8th of next month. The Council will discuss the human rights situation of more than 40 countries and nearly 90 reports submitted by the human rights experts and organizations. More than 30 interactive debates are also scheduled to be held. The UN Human Rights Commissioner presented an update to her annual report today. A special attention was paid in her presentation to Sri Lanka's accountability and reconciliation. She praised releasing of 16 LTTE members taken into custody under Prevention of Terrorism Act and proposed to release others as well. She also appreciated the President's meeting with civil activists. The general debate on the update will commence at 10 a.m. tomorrow and it will end on the following day. Minister G.L. Pires will deliver the reply speech tomorrow. Sri Lankans in Italy have emphasized that the Sri Lankan state leader who ended a 30-year-old war would not be allowed to be embarrassed or insulted. Sri Lankans gathered near the hotel where the Prime Minister was staying to express their support. Certain groups, together with LTTE diaspora, are attempting to protest against the Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa in Italy. However, Sri Lankans in Italy have organized demonstrations and programs in support of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa and the government. The Colombo High Court trial at bar has decided to call the case pertaining to the Easter Sunday bombings on 4th October. Summons have been issued on 25 defendants in the case who are in custody to appear before the court on that date. Police last month filed 23,270 charges against 25 suspects. The charges filed under the Prevention of Terrorism Act include conspiring to murder, aiding and abetting, collecting arms and ammunition, and attempted murder. The Attorney General informed Colombo Magistrate today that deleting of data of National Medicinal Drugs Regulatory Authority can be a part of activities of medicine racketeers. The complaint was taken before Colombo Chief Magistrate Buddhika Sri Ragala today. The Deputy Solicitor General appearing on behalf of the CID informed this to the court. A private company has maintained the data storage facility of the authority for 5 years. The magistrate said that the court cannot intervene for updating computer data. Accordingly, he said that the relevant order will be removed. The case is scheduled to be held again on the 9th of next month. 15,000 police officers will be recruited during the first quarter of next year. They will be recruited at provincial level and will be attached to community police service. The Security Council has approved to increase the number of police officers in the service from the present 25,000 to 100,000. Accordingly, there is a need to recruit 28,000 new police officers. State Minister Dilum Aunugama said that they will be recruited in 2 groups. The Department of Manpower and Employment has taken steps to hold a job market for youth. It will be held from the 7th to the 9th of next month. The job market and vocational guidance programs are scheduled to be held in 14 districts. Director General of the department, Anusha Gokula, said that more than 100 large-scale industries and business establishments have registered for the job market. She said that steps have been taken to register job seekers. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Get a personal loan for your marriage, education or housing within 24 hours with People's Bank Digital Banking.
Continuing with the local stories, General Secretary of Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna MP Sagar Karivasam says that the party has a group of parliamentarians who are prepared to make any sacrifice for the country. During a media briefing today, he said that State Minister Ajit Nimad Cabral resigned from his post according to the needs of the country. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna has informed the Elections Commission to appoint Mr. Jayantha Katagoda for the vacant parliamentary seat. A group, including the General Secretary, handed over the letter today to the Commission. Accordingly, Mr. Katagoda is expected to take oaths as a Member of Parliament on Tuesday. The Paddy Marketing Board has purchased 4,600 metric tons of paddy from the farmers. The authority has also taken into custody 1,500 metric tons following raids. Chairman of the board, Jatal Manapirma, said that the largest quantity of paddy stock has been purchased from the Ampara district, which is 2,091 metric tons. The chairman has requested the farmers to provide paddy stocks to the board, considering it as a national requirement. Ceylon Workers' Congress says that estate lands will not be given to the private sector. During the media briefing at Kottagala, MP Maruda Pandi Rameshwaran said that several abandoned lands have been allocated for development activities. He said tea estate lands have not been given to the private sector as alleged by the opposition. The national program to give new water connections within 24 hours has begun. Under the program, the areas where the drinking water requirement is acutely in need will be identified, and the application to get a water connection will be completed by visiting the homes. The program aims to provide the new water connection by preparing an estimate and charging the fee on the same day. It will be implemented under the Vistas of Prosperity program to provide drinking water to everyone by 2025. All those above 60 years in the Kurunegala district have been vaccinated. 95% of the persons above 30 years have been given at least one vaccine dose. A program to vaccinate everyone above 30 years in the Kurunegala district will be held from 8 a.m. to 12 midnight tomorrow. Those who have not received a vaccine dose can visit Kurunegala General Hospital to get the vaccine. As soon as that process is completed, vaccination of the people in the age group between 20 and 29 years will begin. Anyone who cannot come to Kurunegala General Hospital can reserve a time by contacting the hospital over the telephone. They will be vaccinated by visiting their homes. To conclude the local news, the headlines again. The 48th session of the UN Human Rights Council begins. Sri Lankan Foreign Minister will address the session tomorrow. Sri Lankans in Italy say that they will not allow the Prime Minister to be embarrassed. Date to hear the Easter Sunday court case fixed. The Attorney General says deleting data of National Medicinal Drugs Authority can be a conspiracy. 15,000 will be recruited to Police Department. A national job market will be held from 7th to 9th of next month. That concludes the local news.
Get a personal loan for your marriage, education or housing within 24 hours with People's Bank Digital Banking. People's Bank Digital Banking, your ultimate convenience.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddha Lepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddha Lepa, the Vidya Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddha Lepa Vidya Mahatmya.
On the main news story, State Minister Channa Jayasumana said today the vaccination program for the people above 30 years of age is to be completed before the end of this week. He told reporters that vaccinating 96% of the target population had been completed by now. He said they need the support of people who are 30 years and above to complete the vaccination by this Friday or Saturday. That ends the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And now in Watchlight.
Moving on to Watchlight, the Ministry of Health reported that another 1,483 COVID-19 patients have recovered and discharged within the last 24 hours. This brings the total number of COVID-19 recoveries so far to 414,295. Sri Lanka has reported 485,922 coronavirus cases as of last night, while 60,331 patients are presently being treated at hospitals, treatment centres and under home-based care. The death toll due to the virus stands at 11,296. That ends Watchlight.
World News.
Moving on to the world news, the headlines. The UN seeks millions in international aid for Afghanistan. More than 300,000 suspected of breaking UK quarantine rules. Alibaba slides on report China plans to break a payment app. The United Nations is seeking to raise more than $600 million in aid for Afghanistan, warning the country is facing a major humanitarian crisis. The organization will hold a conference in Geneva today where it will call for international support following the Taliban takeover last month. The UN said Afghans urgently need food, medicine, health services, safe water and sanitization. Nearly a third of people arriving in England and Northern Ireland as the coronavirus Delta variant took off may have broken quarantine rules. According to figures seen by the BBC, more than 300,000 cases were passed to investigators between March and May. The government was not able to say how many of these were found to have broken the rules or could not be traced. According to the Financial Times, shares in Chinese technology giant Alibaba have fallen sharply after a report that its financial affiliate Ant Group is again under scrutiny. Regulators want to break up Alipay, which is China's biggest payments app with more than 1 billion users. A separate platform for the app's profitable lending operation would be created under the plan. It would be the latest move by Beijing to tighten its grip on big businesses. To end the world news, the headlines again. The UN seeks millions in international aid for Afghanistan. More than 300,000 suspected of breaking UK quarantine rules. Alibaba slides on report China plans to break up payment app. That ends the world news. On to development news. Kalmunai Divisional Secretary J. Liaquat Ali said the organic fertilizer production program has been expedited through the divisional secretariats. He said some of the Arunalu Livelihood Development Project commenced at Marudhamunai yesterday. He further said coconut plants and fruit seeds were distributed among selected beneficiaries and instructions were given on the use of organic compost. That ends development news. Up next, sports news.
Sports news.
And on sports news, it's football, tennis and cricket. In football, Sri Lanka football team, which will take part in the South Asia Football Championship, will leave tomorrow to Doha, Qatar for a training session of 16 weeks. 27 players and 11 from the training staff are scheduled to attend the session. Sri Lanka team will arrive in Maldives on 26th to compete in the championship. In news in tennis, A tearful Novak Djokovic lost the US Open final and the chance for a calendar sweep of the majors, but said the love he felt from the crowd meant as much as winning 21 Grand Slams. He has never garnered the same support from the stands as his big rivals Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal, and was brought to tears by the Arthur Ashe Stadium's raucous reaction towards the end of the third set. And in cricket, former Australia opener Matthew Hayden and former South Africa seamer Vernon Philander have been appointed Pakistan coaches for the upcoming T20 World Cup in the UAE. The newly elected PCB chairman Ramiz Raja announced Pakistan had roped in the duo ahead of the tournament. Meanwhile, Australia Test captain Tim Paine is confident he will be fit for the Ashes despite needing surgery to treat a pinched nerve in his neck. He expects to be back in full training by next month, with the first Ashes test against England scheduled to begin in Brisbane on 8th December. That ends sports news.
A safe, easy and versatile app for all your banking needs. NSB Pay for monetary transactions, bill payments, reloads, credit card payments and Lanka QR transactions. A range of facilities with multiple account registrations. Access to your bank needs wherever you are. Download the NSB Pay app from the Play Store or the App Store for free now. For more information, call your nearest NSB branch or 0112 379 379. Conditions apply.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Windforce PLC is set to acquire Sky Solar Private Limited, owned by Sunshine Energy Private Limited. Windforce has signed a share sale and purchase agreement for 100% of the controlling stake of the company. Sky Solar currently owns and operates 2.2 megawatts of rooftop solar at 8 factories located in and around Colombo. That ends Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
A safe, easy and versatile app for all your banking needs. NSB Pay for monetary transactions, bill payments, reloads, credit card payments and Lanka QR transactions. A range of facilities with multiple account registrations. Access to your bank needs wherever you are.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
And on economic news, Sri Lanka's foreign currency reserve assets recouped in August after sinking to post-war low in July as the country took receipts of new foreign inflows to prop up its reserves, which came under severe pressure from foreign debt repayments and higher imports. Official reserve assets reached $3,550.7 million by the end of August from $2,805.9 million in July. That ends economic news.
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather report.
And finally, we take a look at the weather report. The Met Department says showers or thunder showers will occur at times in Sabragamur and Western provinces and in Kandy, Nuwara Gaul and Matra districts. Several spells of showers will occur in the Northwestern province. Showers or thunder showers may occur at a few places in the Uva province and in Batiklo and Ampara districts in the evening or at night. Fairly strong gusty winds up to 50 km per hour can be expected in northern and north-central provinces and in the Hambantota and Trincomalee districts. That ends the weather report. And to conclude this bulletin of news, the headlines again. The 48th session of the UN Human Rights Council begins. Sri Lankan Foreign Minister will address the session tomorrow. Sri Lankans in Italy say that they will not allow the Prime Minister to be embarrassed. Date to hear the Easter Sunday court case fixed. The Attorney General says deleting data of National Medicinal Drugs Authority can be a conspiracy. 15,000 will be recruited to police department. A national job market will be held from 7th to 9th of next month. In news overseas, the UN seeks millions in international aid for Afghanistan. In sports news, US Open 2021, tearful Novak Djokovic thanks New York crowd for ovation. With that, we conclude this bulletin of news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.